Hey everybody, Pat Benage here, the evolution coach, creator of the 6-Week Shift, the inner path, and author of this inspirational blog, SoulTalk. And I'm actually beginning the 5th year of doing this every week. And it's been a healing, enlightening, inspirational exercise for me. I hope it's been beneficial for you as well. I know, excuse me, I know that some of you have indicated that to me, and I feel fortunate to be able to, have some positive impact on people. And but honestly, to be transparent about it, I do this for me. And I do it even if nobody was watching or listening or reading, because it's become part of my practice. It's part of the way that I express what's happening with me, and and it helps to bring clarity. And I find that things come through while I'm doing this, whether it's when I'm writing it or when I'm doing the video. Things will come through that are critical insights for me. And so I hope that translates to you as well. So anyway, today, what I want to talk about, it's something that we all deal with. It's something that, it's something that came through this morning in my contemplation, but it's probably, if not the number one, it's number, in the top 3 of things that hold us back, that keep us from having the kind of life experience that we really are capable of, that we desire, that we are striving toward. And it's actually a combination of a couple of things that tie together. One of the things that, with people I've worked with, people just that I've talked to, my own self, one of the things that is always a part of any time you feel stuck or like you're having difficulty moving forward, it's trust, lack of trust. And at the heart of most of that lack of trust is attachment. We're attached to a particular idea. We're attached to a relationship. We're attached to a place. We're attached to all sorts of things. We it's human nature that we become attached to the things that we desire, that we like, that we love, that we develop these attachments. And it's not that they're a bad thing. I don't want to say it's good or bad. Like I say, everything has a purpose and a benefit, and nothing is inherently good or bad. What I'm talking about here is when that attachment begins to hinder your progress, begins to hinder your personal evolution moving forward. Can't actually stop it, but it can feel that way. And and at that point, then it becomes an issue that what happens is, as you're wanting to move forward and you're attached to something, that something, that attachment is holding you back. It's holding you in place. Because, and this is where the trust comes in, because you don't trust that if you move forward, that this will come with you. You don't trust that this relationship or this idea or this feeling or whatever it is that you're attached to, you don't trust that it will come with you, that you will have it present as you move forward. You want it to be a certain way. You have an idea about how you want things to be as you move forward, but you don't trust that everything will come together that way. And so it's that attachment to a particular way that you want things to be that keeps you from moving forward, and that is the catalyst for this mistrust. Because you don't think life will bring it together that way, or you have some doubt about it, or you're just not sure. Not sure. And so, what do you do about that? How do you handle that? How do you move forward when you have this attachment? And the truth is that you can't fully move forward as long as you have that attachment. Excuse me. And so what's critical, what I've found to be very important in this process, and I talk about the antidote to attachment is detachment. So you need to detach yourself from that. But that's really difficult to do. You have things that you really want. So the process for me, when it comes to that sort of attachment, is to stop resisting the possibility or the likelihood or the inevitability of whatever it is that you're attached to changing. So you have to allow it to change. You have to allow it to evolve, whether that's an idea, whether that's a relationship, whether that's your place, your career, your job, your whatever it is, your home, your health, your physical capabilities, whatever that is, you have to allow that to evolve. And this is true of every external attachment. Every external attachment, every attachment that is not based in absolute truth, and I'll talk about that in a second, but absolute truth being something that is permanent, that's whole. So any external truth, and I use the truth term in terms of that's how it is in the moment, at least from my perspective, your perspective, whatever that happens to be. So it's your truth in the moment, or it's my truth, whatever. And so, but that truth is impermanent. In other words, a year from now, a moment from now, a decade from now, a millennia from now, it will change. So the external is always changing. It's always evolving in some way. And so if you become attached to it being a specific way, inevitably, that means you're going to suffer. if you keep that attachment, because it's going to change. It has to change. That's the way of this physical universe. The only thing that doesn't change is the absolute. And that's your inner truth. That's your inner truth. That's your inner self, your inner being. That's source. And the whole of it. So if you're going to have an attachment, which we, like I said, human nature is we become attached to things, make your number one attachment to your own inner truth. To become attached to experiencing that, to knowing that, to living that. Become attached to that inner self, that inner truth, that Shabda, source. Become attached to that. And whatever you become attached to, that is also where your focus and your attention goes. And so if your focus and attention is on that, then that's part of what's then drawing all your spiritual energy back to the center of your being. And that's what leads you into realization, which I've been talking about the last few weeks. And but if I'm attached to something outside of myself, outside of that true self, which includes, my physical being, my emotions, all of those things are part of my external existence. If I'm attached to any of those things, then that's also drawing my attention there. So it's keeping my attention from being focused on my inner self, my inner truth. And it's keeping me from achieving realization. Now, your immediate goal doesn't have to be realization. Most people, it's not. Soul's ultimate goal is that, to know itself. But as humans, we get attached to different things. But if if you'd like for your life to move forward more easily, with more grace, then at least allow those things that you have attachments to, whatever they might be, to evolve with you. Understand that they are changing. You can't hold them in place. You can't box them up and keep them as they are. Nothing stays the same. Nothing stays the same. Things change at different rates. You can look out and there's, you can look at a rock and it appears like it's not changing. You can look at the sun and it appears like it's not changing, but it is. It's just a matter of its change is much more slow. It's much slower than other changes. And so you still have to allow for that to change. That's just the nature of life in this realm. And any resistance to that just causes grief. It just causes grief. And so, again, the key to moving forward is to detach from those things that you feel attached to, And for me, the gradual, easy way to do that is to begin to just allow those things to evolve and change, just as you allow yourself to do that. And if as you do that, then that helps you to develop the trust to know that however things evolve, however things change, it's going to be for the highest good of all involved. Even if it's not what you want, or at least not what you think you want. So, I hope that's helpful and inspirational, something. I hope it touches you in some way, inspires you, that you get some sort of personal insight through this. But regardless, I feel like this is the one thing, and I've seen it over and over again. It is the one thing that people get stuck. They get stuck. They can't move forward. They start going over and over and over and over again because they're attached and they want things to be a certain way, and it's impossible to always have that turn out the way that you want it to turn out. It's impossible. Things change and you don't have control over all of those changes. So again, it's just classically living life from the inside out rather than from the outside in. So thanks for showing up, and we'll see you next week.